Welcome, everyone. My name's Daniel Lavee. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2026. This is the first of 4 lessons on Declare Play. Declare Play 101 is the course name. We're going to be focusing on 100% Declare Play. Very little talk is going to be focused on the bidding. This course today, we're going to be focusing on finesses. Some of you are new to these online courses, and I encourage your bravery for joining me on these online courses. If you're having any technical difficulties, you can call my wonderful helper, Nancy, at 617 460 3882. As if you're having any technical difficulties during the course. For just to give you a heads up what's going to happen, we're going to be spending the first 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less today, on the Zoom. And we're going to be doing a little bit of lecture on Zoom. And if you have any questions, you can use the Zoom chat and send me some questions. Nancy's also put her phone number in the Zoom chat. And then we're going to move over to Shark Bridge. We're going to practice a bunch of finessing exercises. And then we're going to practice a bunch of full bridge hands with finessing opportunities in those full bridge hands. All right, let's get started with the lesson today. We're going to be focused on finessing. I've noticed that finessing can be very tricky for a lot of bridge players. The absorbing the concept of a finesse can be very tricky. It requires practice, like anything requires practice. The finesse occurs when you're missing one or more big cards. You can finesse to take advantage of hopefully a well-placed card. There are many, many, many different variations of finessing. We're only going to see a few today. There's hundreds of different finesses out there. We're only going to see a few. We're going to see probably the most common ones, right? Or the highest frequency ones. Let's talk about finessing in general. So to finesse, you must lead. You must start from the lower ranking side in the suit. Lead towards your higher ranking side in the suit. Playing the suit in a way you hope to win the trick. So you're not going to do an ace. That's not a finesse. That's 100%. A finesse involves hope you might lose the trick. And the finesse part is you're trying to win additional tricks. I'm a hockey player. I'm a Canadian. I think of Wayne Gretzky. I'm going to butcher his famous saying, but he has a famous saying that says, you're going to score 0 goals on none of the shots you take, or it might be something opposite of that. And essentially the same as in bridge and finesses. If you don't take any finesses, you're not going to get those extra tricks. So you want to try to finesse, and try to get as many extra tricks as you can. Generally, there's a 50% chance of a successful finesse. The hope is that the missing big card is favorably placed in the second-hand defender, because usually the second-hand defender is going to play low. If the second-hand defender plays their big card, well, then that's usually easy for the declarer. The declarer is either going to smother the big card or just play a little one. So as the declarer doing a finesse, we're going weaker to stronger, going for hope, and we're hoping that the missing big card is placed in the second-hand defender and not the fourth-hand defender. It's a bit of luck involved, 50-50. If you have any questions while we're going along, please use the Zoom chat for now, and then when we move over to Shark Bridge, I'll ask you to use the Shark Bridge chat. The Zoom chat should be located at the bottom of your screen. There should be some icons. If you move your mouse, there should be some icons. One of them should be a chat icon. Let's continue. If you're missing 2 or more big cards, 2 or more relevant big cards, it's recommended to finesse the lower ranking honor first. The lower ranking honor first. That would be, let's say, number 7. In number 7, we're missing the king and the jack. It's recommended to finesse the lower ranking honor first. So the jack is lower ranking than the king. The way to finesse to the jack is to start from the lower ranking side, the declare side in example number 7, and follow with the 10. Finesse with the lower ranking honor first when you're missing 2 or more relevant cards. And then finally, before we look at some examples here, more examples, sometimes you need to lead a big card to execute a finesse. But to lead a big card that's not the highest ranking card as a declarer, the declarer and dummy would really like to have 3 or more sequential cards. 3 or more. There are some situations where you might just have 2 in a row. But I'd say 95 to 99% of the time, if you're leading a big card that's not the boss card as a declarer, big card that's not the boss card, you want to have 3 in a row between the declare and dummy hand. Otherwise, you want to lead a low one and follow with a big-ish card, maybe finessing and hoping to win the trick. Let's look at example number 1 here. So keep in mind, weaker to stronger, going for hope. Example number 1, we want to play a low one from the dummy and follow with the queen. Example number 2, here we have queen, jack, 10, 9. We have 4 in a row. So here we could lead a big card. We could lead the queen or the jack and let it ride towards the ace. If the king pops up, we'll smother it with the ace. And if the king doesn't pop up, we'll play low and finesse. The king, 2 little ones opposite the king X. This is also a finesse, number 3. We're not going to hopefully not have this suit to be a trump suit, but maybe you're in this is a side suit or you're no trumps. You need 1 trick from the suit to make the contract. The way to try to get this extra trick is to lead from the weaker hand, in this case the dummy, towards the stronger hand, the king X, playing in a way you hope to win the trick. So you lead low towards the king, and you'll hope that the ace is favorably placed. Number 4, ace, king, jack, opposite 3 little ones. We would start from the lower ranking side, the 3 little, and follow with the jack. Weaker to stronger, going for hope. The ace or king, that's 100%. We're trying to make a 3rd trick by following with the jack, hoping that the queen is favorably placed. Before we move on to number 5, let's talk about some ideas down here. The most common reason not to finesse, let's go with it. The most common reason not to finesse occurs when you're missing the queen and 3 cards or less, 3 other little ones or less. So essentially, you're missing queen, 4th of spade of a suit, queen and 3 little ones. So the queen represented by my donut hand here and 3 little ones. So 4 total cards headed by the queen. Don't finesse. Go ace, king. If you're missing 4 total cards headed by the queen or 3 total cards headed by the queen, don't finesse. So in this case, example number 10, that's indicated color-coded in blue here, we have a 9 card fit. 5 cards opposite 4 cards. We have a 9 card fit. We're missing the queen and 4 total cards. it's recommended to not finesse. It's recommended to go ace king or king ace, hoping that the queen falls either singleton or doubleton. Otherwise, we should finesse, 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 always finesse. In addition to the, common reasons not to finesse, there's no finesse to take when the jack or a big card that's not the highest ranking card is not grouped with another higher ranking card and the suit lacks a subsequent card to the jack. Sometimes it's even the queen. Let's look at example number 5. Here we have ace king little opposite jack little. There's no finesse to take here. I see a lot of players lead the jack, and to lead a big card that's not the boss card, you need to have at least 2, usually 3. So to lead the jack in this situation, one of the 2 hands would need to have at least the 10, if not the 9 as well. So in example number 5, it's best to go ace king and just hope the queen falls singleton or doubleton. If we lead the jack as a defender, they should cover an honor with an honor. So it should go jack, and if the second hand person has the queen, they should cover it with the queen, and then you just get the ace king and you lose the 3rd round. So your best hope is to go ace king and hope the queen falls singleton or doubleton. Similarly, in number 6, I see a lot of players lead the queen. I say no. To lead a big card that's not the boss card, we need to have at least 2 in a row, more likely 3 in a row. So with an ace queen, you want to lead towards the queen and follow with the queen. In example number 1, the ace queen are grouped together in the same hand. You'll lead towards the queen and follow with the queen. Here we have the ace queen separated. Same idea. You'll lead towards the queen and follow with the queen. So you could do the ace first and then lead towards the queen, or you could lead towards the queen on the first round, depending on who has the lead. Example number 7, we discussed already. We want to finesse the lower ranking honor first when we're missing 2 or more relevant cards. So we'll lead low to the 10. If that loses to the king, our ace queen are winners. If that loses to the jack, we'll come back to the declaring hand with 2 cards left and finesse for the king. Or maybe the 10 wins sometimes. We'll come back to the declaring hand and then finesse for the king. Example number 8. We're missing the king and the queen. Whenever you're missing the king, queen, and you have all the other big cards, you want to finesse twice. Anticipate losing the first finesse to the king or the queen, and you'll very likely win the second finesse. So missing the king, queen, take 2 finesses. You'll likely lose the first one, and you'll likely win the second. Number 9. We're going to talk about promotion next week. I've noticed a lot of players get finesse and promotion confused. So let's try to, we're going to focus on finesse today, but a lot of people think about this number 9 as a promotion. So you'd lead the king or lead the queen, sacrificing it to the ace, and then you'd have one other winner. But that's just one winner. Utilizing a finesse, we're hoping to get both the king and the queen. We're hoping to get 2 tricks here. So we'd start from the weaker hand, the dummy hand, and lead towards the king or the queen, following with the king or the queen, and we're hoping that the ace is favorably placed. If the 4th hand defender doesn't have the ace, they can't win the trick, so we'd go back to the dummy hand and finesse again. If it loses to the ace on the first round, then we just have the one winner. Finesses are 50-50. All right, so that's the short lesson today. We're going to move over to Shark Bridge, and I want to give you as much practice time and attempts as possible. So please join me over on Shark Bridge. You can access the Shark Bridge Classroom by clicking on the link that I'm sharing in the Zoom chat. Or you can access the Shark Classroom by clicking the links that I've shared via email with you today. I know some of you are new. Some of you are new, and so if you're having any technical difficulties, please call Nancy at 617-460-3882. Nancy's number has been written down in the emails that I've sent you today. All right, so let's move over to Shark Bridge. Hopefully we have all of us over there. I know it might be a bit of a new interface for some and totally new experience, so it might be a bit of a struggle at first, but we're gonna make it work. If you have any issues, please call Nancy 617-460-3882. We're missing about 3 people on Shark Bridge. We have a question. If you have two finesses, do you always finesse the same person? Well, yes, because we're finessing from the weaker hand to the stronger hand. So the stronger hand in the suit's not going to change, and the weaker hand in the suit's not going to change. So as a result, we're always going to be finessing the same second hand defender, because we're leading from the weaker hand to the stronger hand, playing in a way we hope to win the trick. Missing 3 people on Shark Bridge. I'm going to give you a few more moments to join. If you're having any technical difficulties, if you're still having some problems joining, please call Nancy at 617-460-3882. All right, let's get started. I think we're missing 2 people, but no one's calling Nancy, so let's get started. So these are not full bridge hands. These are just a quick example of a finesse. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to execute this hand. So whenever you're ready, let's get started. There's a king of clubs lead. You know, it's not a full bridge hand. Give you the chances to practice what we're learning here. It's one thing to just hear someone talk about finesses for an hour or two. Totally different. Bridge is a game of experience. So I think it's really important for everyone to practice the finesse themselves. And so the result that the Shark Bridge table gives you right now, down $1 million, well, you can't make your 1-no trump contract if there's not even 7 tricks available to take. So let's go over this one together. So we get the king of clubs lead. We're forced to win this with the ace of clubs, no choice. And now we're leading from the right hand, weaker to stronger, going for hope. We have a ace queen. This is one of those classic typical finesses in bridge. Ace queen, you lead low towards the queen. and you hope the king is favorably placed. Happy days it is, and then you take your ace of diamonds. All right, next, let's try the next one. Okay, so there seemed to be a bit of a glitch here. Let's try the next one again. All right, that was strange. I moved you from south where I wanted you over to a new spot. Okay, so let's start over again. Second, example of finesse. We got a club lead. Give you 30 seconds to execute these next four tricks. All right, everyone. Let's go over this example. Example number 2. So we get the queen of clubs lead. Do we win the ace of clubs or do we win the king of clubs? Well, we want in the diamond suit, we want to be leading from the weaker hand to the stronger hand, going for hope. That means we want to lead diamonds from the south hand. So we should win the king of clubs at trick number 1. And now we can lead diamonds from the weaker hand in diamonds, the lower ranking hand. The ace is higher ranking than the queen and the jack. We can only lead the queen or the jack. And here we have 2 in a row. And if they play the king, we take the ace. If they play low, we play low and finesse. And we're hoping that the king is favorably placed. If it is, we'll get 4 tricks in the clubs and diamond suit. If not, we'll only get 3. Finesse. If you have any questions moving forward, please use the Shark Bridge chat. So you can make a comment there's a text window in the lower left-hand area of your green bridge screen. But for now, you can keep on playing this next hand. This one should look really similar, but slightly different. Give you a chance to play this one. All right, everyone, let's go over this one together. And so we get the queen of clubs lead. In this situation, exact same hand as the last one, except the diamonds are switched. Now we want to win the club in the north hand. North is weaker in diamonds, lower ranking in diamonds. And we could lead from the weaker hand to the stronger hand, going for hope. Weaker to stronger, going for hope. We have a question. Can you review the reasons not to finesse? The most common reason not to finesse is when you're missing the queen and only the queen and 4 total cards in the suit. Don't finesse, go ace king and hope the queen falls, missing 4 total cards in the suit and only the queen. The other reason why you might not finesse is if the jack is not grouped with a higher ranking honor and the partnership lacks sequential cards, lacks the jack 10 or the queen jack. To lead a big card that's not the boss card, you want to have ideally 3 sequential cards, but at least 2 in some situations. Let's try the next example. All right, here we get a club lead. Your goal is 3 tricks on this hand. Let's try to get 3 tricks. All right, let's try this one together. So here we get another club lead. And we got the ace king of clubs. That's easy. We don't want to take both of them because then they have a lot of clubs they might be able to take. So we just want to take one, and we want to take it in the weaker hand in spades. We have to plan who's the lead on the next trick. We want to be trying to get a spade trick. So we want to lead from the south hand in spades, weaker to stronger, going for hope. If West plays the ace, we play low and our king is good for later. But they shouldn't do that. They're just going to do second hand low. And we need to play the king and hope and pray that the ace is favorably placed. Today it is. The king of spades will win and you'll get the ace of clubs, and that's all she wrote on this one. So weaker to stronger, going for hope. Let's try the next example. You got a club lead, give you another 20 or 30 seconds to play this hand on your own, and we'll take it up together.